Testing. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Knock, knock. Anyone there? Say hello. Okay, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working from the workbook. Most of you purchased the book, and we're going to work with the first pattern, and we're going to do it open-handed. So, if you have the book, fine. If you don't have it, turn to Gary Chafee's Patterns. Hey Jim, how are you? Okay, I understand. Anyway, that's okay. Anyway, I apologize about last night, only because I went to turn my system on and was about to stream and turned it on, and all of a sudden all the settings were not there. So I had to put all the settings in, and I tried about 10 different ways and didn't work, so I had to call my tech, who is in California, and there's a 3-hour difference. And he got back to me and we fixed it, but by then it was about 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I do apologize. Okay, now we're on page, if you have the book, we're on the first page, ostinato symbol pattern number 1. Okay? Now, all that is, and I refer to that as a money beat, because it's a very common beat when you're playing, say, clubs, or you're playing some rock, standard rock tunes or cover tunes or whatever. It's always this. Is that view better, Jim? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's a money beat. But we're going to do it left-handed. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, before we do the first 2 pages open-handed, I like to do a warm-up, and you see it in the book, prior to the first page, you have a warm-up. You're doing 16ths. You can see my pedal now, right? 1 E and a 2, 3, right-handed. I'll do that for 3 or 4 minutes. 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Then left-handed, 1 E and a 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for 2 or 3 minutes. Okay? Now, what I want to do, and there's like I think 22 of these with this pattern, and it's in the Chafee book. However, with this book, the notebook that you have, it's written out as opposed to just seeing the bass and snare from the book, from the Chafee book. So let's just do the first one, number 1, and I'm going to do it slow. And I'm going to do it right-handed for a little bit and left-handed for a while. Then I'll pick up the tempo. Now, the object here is to make a nice musical sound. You don't want to pound the hi-hat like this. What you want to do is bring it down and up. So I'm getting, and I'm going to exaggerate it, but I'm getting, when I'm playing it, I'm getting sort of an accent here on the first, second, and third downbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do it slow. And when you do it slow, you want to really see what's happening with the levels. 1 E and a 2 E, and it's consistent in sound. And 4. Now we add the left hand. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E. 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and left-handed 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and then the bass drum and 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and now I'm exaggerating everything. That's not when I'm playing music with the band. I'm not playing like that. I'm playing like that, but at a faster tempo. I'm bringing it way, way down to show you what is occurring with the movement. That is what you should be doing. Up tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Musical sound, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, spend as much time on the right side and the left side. Equalize it. You know, you're going to be, if you're right-handed, definitely going to be stronger on the right side as opposed to the left and vice versa. So your weaker side, you might want to spend a little bit more time. Get the feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 3, 4. Left, 3, 4. Right. Right, ain't go. 3, 4. So on and so forth. Now, with that movement, the bass drum is just on the 1 and 3. The next movement, number 2, we're going to move it over. The bass drum, that is. 1 count. Excuse me. It's very hot in here. The lights and the heat and all that good stuff. Anyway, line number 2, we're going to move the bass drum instead of on the count of the E of 1 and the E of 3. The bass drum's going to, the 1 and the instead of 1 and 3, we're moving the bass drum over to the E of 1 and the E of 3. So we'll do it slow. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 again and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and left-handed 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and again 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and. Now, Jim, do you understand that? Any questions from anyone? It's very simple. So now we have number 1 and number 2. Here, just put up a little bit. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. On the E. Left-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We understand that, Mr. Jim? And whoever else needs to have a question answered or whatever? You got it. But see, the object now, the slower you do this, it gives you more time to make the adjustments with your sound. If you're going, you don't want that, you want this. Nice and relaxed. And dropping the bass drum. But you need, at this particular time, if this is new to you, it's essential that you count. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 E and. We got that? All right, let's go to number 3 now. Now, there's a few terms you could use for this, like permutate or the grid. I'd rather use right now permutate, because now we just did the 1 and 3. The bass drum, we did the E of 1 and the E of 3. of the bass. Now we're going to move it over one more, which is permutation. So we're going to go to the and of 1 and the and of 3. Excuse me. Oh, okay, number 3. We're on the and of 1, 1 and 2 and 3 E and the 4 and 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and simple. Left-handed, 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and 1 E and the 2 and 3 E and the 4 and so on and so forth. Understand that, Mr. Jim? And there's quite a few people in here, nobody in the chat. That's okay. Now, the next movement, remember now we did the 1 and the 3, the E of 1, the E of 3, the and of 1, and of 3. Now we're going to move it over to the da. So that's actually number 4. Nice and slow. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 E and a 4 and left-handed. Now what I'd like to do at this point, okay, Ricardo, how are you? Sorry about last night. How you making out with these patterns? We're working on number 1. Cymbal ostinato number 1. What do you think? All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hang out and play randomly 1 through 4. 1, 2, number 2, 3, 4. That was the next one. 1 and 2 and 3. That's number 6. 5 rather. And do the whole process again with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see, I'm going right through them. And I'm trying to strengthen that left side of me because I'm right-handed. And I'm trying to make that equalize. That's it, Shafee, page 11. But you have it in the book. This is the first one. I wrote it out. You want to do it both right-handed and both left-handed. I just did 1 through 4 and I threw in 5. Let's go to 5 right-handed. That's what I'm going to do because of the time element. Instead, what is this? Okay, that's good. Well, that's what they're for, Jim, is to make I'm giving lessons to help everyone, I think. That's what it's for. And if the vamping patterns are helping you, making that left hand stronger or the right hand stronger, the object, man, is to make that right hand and left hand equal. And that's extremely difficult because, if you're right-handed all your life, your left hand was on vacation and occasionally you'd wake it up and say, hey, give me a hand with this one. And then it would go back to sleep. Right now you're saying, okay, left, let's do your part here. And when your left does that, he's going, oh shit, I'm not used to this. So it feels a little awkward. So you need to spend that time on the weaker side, okay? And, build it up, equalize the right, equalize the left. The best example I can give, good, Ricardo, that's what you should do. The best example I can give of, say, an open-handed or ambidextrous player is Billy Cobham. Man, that guy's such a great player. And, the guy, whatever he plays right-handed, he can play left-handed. Whatever he plays left-handed, he can play right-handed. The guy's a monster. And that's what you're going for. We're not playing music. We're practicing drums so we can play the music better. Simple. Okay. Now, what he does, and he keeps the same sequence going. I just did number 5. Let me do number 6. On number 6, we're playing the bass drum now on the 1 and the 3 hand, both right-handed and left-handed. Number 6. Nice and slow. 1 E and the 2 and pop, boom boom pop, 1 E and the 2 and 3. Left-handed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 2, 3, 4. You know, if you want to really, who's this? Who's double kicks? Hey, I'm a sweetheart. No, you don't know me. Double kicks. What's your first name again? Do we know each other than from here? Well, I'm glad you think that Morello would be proud. I was always proud to say I studied with Joe. And I mean studied. I mean, that guy was crazy. Okay. Anyway, both right and... Now, here's a good way to practice this. If you want to keep some order, how many times you did the right, how many times you did the left. I know this is a bit much. And if I referenced off of line 3, right, right, left, left. Michael Wright. How you doing, Mike? Ed, how are you, sir? I staying off let me just talk a little bit before I explain how to practice this right-handed and left-handed equalized, okay? I think I told everybody, I'm not sure, and I apologize about last night again because I was having some issues with the settings, and I just didn't know how to set them all correctly. And I finally did about 11:30, 12 o'clock last night, and we're back. So hopefully it never happens again. However, it will happen again because computers have their way about them that, you know, you restart it, you shut it off, you reboot it, whatever it is that you do, the settings go away or they change. So you got to reset them. Okay. Anyway, now, I told you yesterday, I think, Ed, I don't think that Jim was here, Ricardo or Mike Double Kicks. Jeffrey Johnson, the author of The Level System, I was in contact with him. And Steve Foster, he has his book out with variations of stick control book. And Alan Herman and I. We will be doing a show. It's going to take it's going to be in 220, either January or February, okay? Because it's very difficult to get 4 people, players especially, in the same room on the same day. Okay, and especially when they're just given their time. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the book. Jeffrey's going to talk about his book, The Level System. And how what he made the public or the drummers aware of, and we're going to critique it. Alan, Steve, and I. Steve is going to do his book, explain it. We're going to critique it, and Alan has a couple CDs out of the box, and we're going to talk about that. And in addition to that, we're going to talk about our experiences and our relationship with Joe, and what he has done for us as far as our playing is concerned, and as far as us being gentlemen and human beings. So that's going to be a pretty good show. I'm not going to do anything until 2:20, and I'm going to have, I don't know if you remember, Tim Herman. We're going to get into a whole hour and a half of drum tuning. Now, Tim Herman worked at the Modern Drum Shop with Joe Casadas for years. And also Tim studied with both Joe Casadas and Sonny Igo. So it should be very interesting, especially that show with Jeffrey Johnson and Steve Forrester and Alan Herman. All right? And there's going to be a lot of great information coming out of that one, especially with Alan and Steve. Steve is extremely intelligent. Al is brilliant. And Jeffrey is, they're all geniuses. What can I tell? I'm the only dumb one out of them. But anyway, let's go back to doing this right-handed and left-handed. You know, I have a video of the stick control book, page 5, a couple lines of the way George Lawrence Stone intended it. You know, the full strokes, the half strokes, the quarter strokes, but equalizing the right side and the left side. And it works if you do it correctly. You know, you have to do everything slow, so that gives you a time to adjust what you feel or what you hear is wrong. If your right hand is louder than your left, you make the adjustment. When you do it slow, you can do that. And you stay there for a while. And before you know it, after a period of time, it just happens naturally. Okay, so now, when you're practicing, let's say number 1, right-handed. You know, I'm going to reference this now off the stick control book. Let's take right, right, left, left. So it's telling me right, right. Now left, 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 right, back to right. So I did it twice with the right, twice with the left, twice with the right, twice with the left. You could do that with any sticking pattern. You could take one that you like the most and work with that. You could take the paradiddle or line, what was that, 10, 11, right, left, 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 right, left, 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 whatever. That's that kind of sequence. Do you guys understand that, or you want me to elaborate a little bit better on that guy? Right-handed and left-handed. Okay? Now, 1 through 11, do we all, everybody that's inside of this chat right now or who's viewing, do we all understand the notation, the reading? Or should I send PDFs on a breakdown of his reading? You're okay with that, Ricardo? You understand what I said? All right, good. It's an organized way of keeping track of, you know, I'm doing 2 right side, 2 left sides. Or 1 right side, 3 left sides. 1 right side, 3 left sides, so on and so forth. Any one of your choice. All right, so everybody understands. You got that, Ed? Now, we all know how to read number 1 through 22. I will do a breakdown. I think I'll send it to everybody. So, and I have a foolproof way of teaching reading. And it's not phrasing, it's understanding the math and the notation. And I use sticking patterns for that. Eliminations. You'll see. Okay, so now, what I decided to do, if I'm going to be doing 8 lessons a week, I want to get back to some polyrhythms. The polyrhythms, I briefly did 3 against 2, 3 against 4. I want to hit 5 against 4, 5 against 2, at least 1 lesson a week. Whether it would be, well, it would be 1 day, excuse me, during the week. If it's a Wednesday, it'd be during the day and in the evening. How's that sound with polyrhythms? And if it's not polyrhythms, it'd be reading. Now we're going to stay in the workbook. You understand the workbook there, Ricardo? Double kicks. You don't have the book, do you, Mike? Okay. How's that sound? Unless, I mean, I'll take requests, and how would you like me to organize this? The PDF, writing PDFs, I mean, it takes a tremendous amount of time, trust me. We'll do a day of rudiments with the levels, so on and so forth. Okay. Any questions? And you like this, Ed? Do you like this view? I'm gonna purchase another camera. I'm gonna put a thing on GoFundMe, and I'm gonna get a couple more cameras. I need a lighting system so you can see the bass drum with it from a different angle. All right, and boy, I really wish I had an AV guy, because I mean I could change the views, but and there's a delay, and I have the computer I'm using. I'm gonna try to set it up over here. Okay. No questions. All right. You'll be back tonight, Ricardo, at 7 o'clock. What we're going to do is we're going to stay on this. I'm going to continue 1 through 22, right-handed and left-handed, and perhaps a couple of the combinations. It will be a nice long lesson. All right, the view's okay. And Alan will probably be here sometime today. I mean, tonight. Remember now, he's in China. Yeah, well, the staccato count, for those who don't know what staccato is, it's a short sounding, it's short sounding. If I went 1, now when I said 1, the sound went out. If I say 1, the sound was short. Now, it doesn't make you stiff, doesn't make you tight. You love to share 5s over 16th note triplets. Mercy. Ha! Maybe I should be in the chat and you should be sitting here. You mean groupings of 5 over 16th note triplets? When you say 16th note triplets, are you talking about a grouping of 6 or two, wow. It tells me I set the delay to 0, which means it should be nothing, but it's a 5-second delay. It's not a minute. No, I don't know him. Yes, sir, Matt, you said that's the grouping of 5 over 6? Wow. Do you have a video on that, Mike? I'd like to see it, break it down and write it out and perhaps show it to everybody. Wow, groups of 6. That's like 30 counts, man. Woof, that's got to be tough. If you have a video, I'd like to see that. You could email it to me, unless you could post it here. I don't know. Here's my email. Mercy, Lord B. Wow. There's no video link. I didn't get anything. Matt Patella 1001. I did it twice. Sorry. Hold on. Well, nothing came out. It's not in the chat. What am I doing 1991? Oh my God. It's Matt. You got me crazy with that. I'm thinking about it while I'm typing. Mike, stop. There it is. Anyway, we didn't get the link. If you could email it to me, I will post it here. I mean, I can't do it now. I'll do it tonight. You're doing a group of 6. How are you getting a 5 in there? Mercy. The grouping of 6, 1, if you're counting 1, that's 18. All right, I can see that. 1 and, or 1 and 2 and 3 and you're putting 5 in there. Wow. That's unbelievable. All right, why don't you send me the video, and I'll break it down, and I'll try to teach it maybe one day next week. I am trying to do a video of myself playing, because I have some requests, not with any music, because I'm going to set up with that, but just doing a solo. All right, thank you, Mike. Anyway, that's gonna take away today from the 1 o'clock. I got to get off. I will be back tonight at 7 p.m. If there's any questions, everybody has my email, or if you have any suggestions, email me, and I will definitely take suggestions and questions and advice. Okay? Gentlemen, have a good day.